Hey there, everybody. Giant Pie, how you doing, buddy? Ryzen 7 3700X. That's pretty nice. Anyway, it is Monday, May the 24th, 2021, and it is your time for the Mr. Video Game Live Super Show, where we talk about video games and other such things. Kelverin, how you doing, buddy? In case you don't know, I'm Slacker Kite. I'm the editor here. I push the buttons and I make the lists, and we lead up the talk of the things that we talk about on the show. And of course, with us, the lead resource for your wrestling information, especially if it's gay as hell. It's Wonder Boy. How you doing? You don't hear him. Um, oh, I know. 1 second. I can fix this.
Cool.
Okay, now you should hear Brian.
I've been speaking into the void.
Sweet.
Can y'all hear me now?
I see the bars moving. Yep, you can be
Hooray!
heard.
Awesome.
Trav
All right.
Trav broke the doobly doo.
Ah, it's okay. It's all right. I'm here now. I don't know if I'll go into the whole spiel I did while no one could hear me, but no, like, yes, I am definitely the queer wrestle person here. Although I do cover other things, obviously I'm on this show. But either
Yeah.
way, I'm doing all right though. Just chilling, vibing, working. Um, yeah, that's basically it. I've had a rather boring time this week so far. So just writing.
Hard to complain. Yeah, I think I've had about the same week you have. I didn't really do a whole lot myself either. But also with us, of course, as always, the lovely voice that keeps everyone from yelling and screaming all the times. It is Lindsay, aka Lady Merowin.
My track record says that's a lie, but I'll take it. I will definitely take it.
How was your last week?
Not bad. I've been driving a lot cuz Forza has now eaten my life.
I was about to ask, like, where have you been driving?
Well, given I don't have my license, hopefully nowhere the cops can find me.
You know, let's go ahead and just get into talking about video games. Why not? Who the hell cares about what we've been doing? How is the Forza's been for you?
Honestly, I was skeptical because I'm like Forza's always been this great um like do a mission, do a mission, do a mission. Like how Need for Speed used to be.
Hmm.
And so I figured this whole open world thing is going to be bullshit. Guys, this plays out like a fucking Top Gear episode. It's amazing.
I
And I mean,
mean,
like, good Top Gear before Jeremy Clarkson and those other idiots all got canned by the BBC. And definitely not the American Top Gear.
oh no.
So basically, you start off with a car. This takes place during the Horizon Festival in the UK. You actually get to spend a good chunk of time tearing through the streets of Edinburgh.
Nice.
Um, you get to experience all of the fun with the off-roading and like whatnot for that. Um, there are street races to do. There are these big ass races called showcase races. Um, and they're usually ridiculous. So like what we're seeing now with them trying to play tag with a bunch of motocrossers.
Oh, that
Um,
sounds no good for anybody involved.
yeah, it's pretty much you versus 5 motocrosses.
Oh.
and you have to try to beat them. And it's interesting. There's also one where you have to race a train,
A train?
and one where you have to race a fighter jet. And let's not forget the one where you have to race a hovercraft.
None of these sound like things you would be racing in, like, you know, the regular sports and the NASCARs and whatnot.
Yeah, no. However, there's also a fantastic strip of highway, and the cars you get, like, that you have access to and that you can earn and win are ridiculous. This is literally like a drive your dream advertisement. Being able to bomb down a highway in like a brand new Lotus Elise
Nice.
and then turn around and jump into a 1969, or what was it? It was a 71 Plymouth Cuda. Hemi, of course.
Of
Like,
course.
I'm a car nerd.
Yeah.
I wept with joy with some of the cars that I've been able to grab so far, including a classic Triumph and like a Triumph Spitfire and stuff along those lines. Like,
Oh,
and the fact that you can actually, you know how with driving games you always get that option to do the cockpit view,
yeah.
and it always sucks.
Always, yes.
This one doesn't.
What?
It is so ridiculously accurate. I mean, Peter and I spent a good hour just switching between cars to see what all of these luxury vehicles like McLarens and Lotuses and Koenigsegg look like inside. Um, and the fact that like your rear view and side view mirrors actually work when you're in cockpit view. It is a little disconcerting because some of them are right-hand drive,
Oh,
so that takes some getting used to. But I've been tooling around lately. My car of choice has been a Hoonigan Ford Fiesta,
okay.
made famous by, like, made for the pro driver Ken Block for his Gymkhana videos, in which you see some of quite literally the best precision driving you will ever see in your life. So being able to bomb around in one of those and like just do like perpetual 360 spin outs and jumps and barrel rolls, like it is just so much stupid amounts of fun. I highly recommend picking up this game.
I just love the fact that you're talking about a Ford Fiesta being a car that's used for like the most precise driving that you've ever seen.
I will throw a link to one of the Gymkhana videos in the Discord later on tonight. There's one where they pretty much closed off a good chunk of San Fran for him to
Oh
play.
wow! Oh god, that sounds amazing. Actually, just knowing that city's layout. Oh man.
Uh-huh. Have you ever seen a Ford Fiesta get something like, 100 feet laterally of air while still maintaining something like 9 to 15 feet off the ground?
Good
Fuck
lord.
me up.
Yeah, so being able to pull off shit like that in this game while being in the cockpit and watching your character shift,
Sweet.
I yes. So yeah, totally worth it. Oh, and it's cross-platform, Xbox and PC, because it's Microsoft and Turn 10.
Nice.
So yeah, totally recommend. Even and it's good to even just to like jump in, dig around for like a couple of hours and bounce. But it's also perfectly serviceable if you want to spend like hours upon hours playing at a stretch. And yeah, you customize your license plate. You have a lovely GPS named Anna, which stands for Automated Natural Navigation Assistant. And also your name that you set, they will call you by name throughout the game
Okay.
as long as it's in their list.
Nice.
So like I'm listed in there as Lady Merowyn, so I get called Lady. I log in and I get, welcome back, lady. And it's like, yes, I can deal with this. But yeah, like it is so smooth. It's fantastic. There's literally something for everyone. If you love street racing, you've got those. If you like doing stunts, there are challenges for that. There's actually a whole storyline where you are a stand-in stunt driver for a movie that's being shot. And so each chapter of that is a different stupid ass stunt that you have to do. One of them definitely calls to mind the Gymkhana stuff because you have to jump into that Hoonigan fiesta and tear it up in this little village.
See, I'm just sitting
So,
here
yeah.
thinking, I just want Burnout Paradise too. So if I can get something at least somewhat like that, well, it could be fine.
You might have found it in this
Okay.
with cars ranging from like, dude, I've got one of the VW hippie vans, but I've also got top of the line Koenigseggs and Lotuses and McLarens and Ferraris and Lambos and and it covers so many different eras. Like I think the oldest car I've seen so far has been like a 1930.
Ooh.
Um Not to mention you can fully customize with your paint, your window tint, body kits, and full tuning is supported. So you can sit and tweak every aspect of this vehicle to your liking.
Look at you playing nearly recent video games.
I know what the hell's going on, right? But yeah, totally recommend. This is I have not had this much fun in a game. Like Peter and I have been playing it quite a bit together, and we have had just as much fun doing the missions as we have going to a random airstrip and just dicking around and pulling stunts and seeing how fast we can go. So totally, totally worth it. And the multiplayer is really well done.
So, Brian, I hear you also have actually had time for a game this week.
I have because I played multiple games this week, but the new one, new like new quotation marks new one that I played um, was a fun little FMV interactive game called Erica. I put new in quotation marks because this game originally came out in 2019.
Hey, Brian, you're kind of like coming in and out a bit. Is there?
I don't know what's going on.
Oh,
Give me a second. Do I sound
do.
any better?
Yes.
Okay, good. Don't know what was going on there. Anyway, so yes, I played Erica. So I put new in quotation marks for this game because it originally came out in 2019 for PlayStation 4, but it's getting its official Steam release tomorrow. And I got code for this game and played the Steam release of it. And who here likes creepy things and the occult and
Yo.
Yay! I do.
interacting with those things? Because this game is it.
Ooh.
Um,
Ooh.
so basically, this is an FMV game. It's very much shot in a like a somewhat of a linear story. It tells the story of Erica Mason, the titular character there, who um basically like her father's been murdered when she was a child, and she basically has been like haunted by nightmares of this sort of like ritualistic killing of him. And then all of a sudden, things start coming back to her in her like young adulthood, and all of a sudden she's thrust into this investigation of another murder, and is brought back to the mental health facility that her father ran along with her mother. Um, and it just kind of like devolves from there. The game does offer branching pathways throughout everything. Like there are multiple times where you are offered like different paths to take, different places to investigate, and that sort of thing. And it kind of like colors the path that you take and sort of how the story unfolds. And of course, you make decisions as you go through, but um, in that way, it very much feels like your standard FMV game.
Mm.
Also, in the way that some of the graphical representations of the items moving in the FMV versions of stuff, it doesn't necessarily. It has that sort of FMV feel to it,
Yeah.
but unlike the past FMV games that really kind of are most fondly remembered, I think, for the amount of cheese in them,
Mm.
this one actually has some depth to it in the acting category, I would say. Like the acting is really good for the most part. The story actually pulled me in. I thought as soon as I saw this was FMV, I immediately thought like, okay, this might be a fun campy thing, but it actually like has tension to it. And I really enjoy where the story goes in a lot of places. Obviously, I haven't played through every pathway yet. I am going to play it multiple times though because like I'm curious to see where other things go, but I don't know, I really enjoyed it. And I don't know if anybody else here has interacted with this one before, but this is the debut game from a British developer called Flavorworks,
Oh.
which their whole thing is kind of melding film and video game. So this is like very much they're very much on brand with what they want to do,
Mm.
and they also have backing from Peter Molyneux. So,
You can't
uh,
win at all, right?
well, I'm just saying, like Peter Molyneux's not making the game; he's
Good.
giving them money, and it shows because the game actually, in my opinion, is good.
It's good
Um,
and actually does what it says it's going to do. Crazy.
Yeah, it does. I mean, obviously, it has limited replayability, but like it's like watching a movie, and the movie is one that I would like to revisit a few times. I could definitely see myself like going back and playing it again after a couple playthroughs, like still setting it to the side for a while, maybe going back if I wanted to show it to somebody or something like that. But I don't know, it's fun, and interesting, and I don't know, I enjoyed it.
I mean, that's really cool because, like you said, most of the FMV games out there, what Tex Murphy and whatnot, just really campy stuff. And not that I fucking love campy stuff, but it's good to see something with actual chops behind it.
Yeah, and especially whenever you're talking about FMV like suspense and FMV like horror thriller stuff. Because like let's face it, like there were a ton of those games made back in the 90s and even a few now, and none of them like I immediately jumped to like Phantasmagoria
Yeah.
or Reaper or Ripper or like those sort of early titles, whenever you think about FMV horror, and even like the ones that are being made nowadays, like you look at Contradiction, Spot the Liar, that's a fun game, but it's fun because of how like scenery chewing the acting is in it.
Mm.
It's not fun for the same reasons that Erica is fun. This and then of course there's the Quiet Man, which I mean the Quiet Man is just I have no idea what anybody thought that was supposed to be. But I digress. I like this is one that I look forward to playing again, honestly. So it was just really cool. It was a really fun take on it, and I'm a horror junkie, so I love it.
Yeah, heck, I might
I
actually have to put that on my own list.
Yeah, I've definitely got it on mine now because it's giving me vibes like with the style that it's in is giving me vibes of a couple of games I've tooled around with on mobile, oddly enough.
Mm.
Sarah is Missing and Simulacra.
Mm.
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
And like those were ones that I thought were gonna be like stupid cheese and stupid camp because dear God, oh look, I found a phone, you know? But they actually ended up with these really wicked in-depth stories. So this one seems like, yeah, I kind of need it. I kind of definitely need this in my life.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and also like it has the backing of Sony Interactive as well. Like they published it, so
Any.
yeah, originally published it, obviously.
Yeah, if it's coming to Steam, yeah.
Yeah, that one's not the Yeah.
All right. So before we get into the conversations to get today, I just want to get one thing out of the way. I know the uh all of the people have been talking still about bikini streamers. I don't wanna. I'm sick of talking about it. I don't care. That being said, I do actually like some of the other changes they made about the same time. Hey Coop, how's it going? Um, that they've been adding. They worked with Glad to add some new some new tags to your stream. They had gotten rid of a lot of tags because they were afraid of targeted abuse on their platform. But they've decided now to follow the feedback and add in a lot of tags, and a lot of them are really great, like mental health, transgender, disable, etc. Cool stuff, I think.
Oh, I'm into it. Like, especially this is a good timing for Pride Month as well for a lot of the LGBTQ tags that they're putting into this. Like, look, the thing is, like, you need to give people the ability to like really like celebrate their identities in this way, and that goes a long way to adding representation on platforms such as Twitch.
Mhm.
Like, obviously you get that through doing the streams, but a good way to find people that stream to like you're looking for a certain like identity, you're looking for a certain like community, like this is the best way to do it on Twitch, because God knows it's find stuff on Twitch right now, just the glut of people of streamers that are on there. So I'm all for this, honestly.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
especially Twitch has been expanding outside of just gaming content lately. So having mental health streams, that's the one that I really latch on to. Like that is fucking cool to me.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
also, oh, sorry, go ahead, Lens.
Oh, no, no. I was just gonna say, like, I totally agree. It's great that we're getting a better way of finding exactly what we're looking for and something that is more closer aligned to your interests, you know? And being able to
Exactly.
find a place where you feel more comfortable.
No, for sure. And also, I will say this is also makes me happy because it, you know, finally, hopefully, will put the fucking people that are yelling about hot tub streamers to bed, because the shit's viable. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, it's officially approved. It's its own fucking category now.
Damn
Um,
right.
you know,
More
maybe
power to the fucking hot tub streamers.
maybe someday we too at Mr. Video Games will bring you a hot tub stream just to your faces.
All you need is an inflatable pool. I might have room for an inflatable pool.
I don't in my apartment, but
I think I do.
yeah, your place actually might have room for an inflatable pool. Ironically, over by where the sliding door is.
You know, I've been debating building a hot tub, like just like a ghetto hot tub on my balcony.
I can see it.
It's too damn hot here.
You gotta get one of those little portable AC things for yourself. Fuck it, they're not
Yeah.
gonna come in and see the thing.
Oh, they will.
Eh,
And then they'll yell at me because I haven't paid my $280 to have it in from May till September.
welcome.
As a note, the heat is still on in this building.
What?
We've been hitting 35 degrees with the humidity. That's like high 80s, low 90s for y'all Americans.
Yeah,
I was about to say thank you for doing the math.
Yeah. And our heat is still on because it's mandated that, as per bylaw, that it has to stay on to the 15th of June. Because it's
Oh
usually
wow.
still fucking cold this time of year.
Also, you got a bunch of old people in that house complex.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm dying.
Literally, like, I know that conversion, but at the same time, like, I just kind of go by the mental, oh yeah, like 35. That's a little bit above room temperature, a little bit below boiling. Yeah, okay. Gotcha.
I just guess.
Like for me, it's usually the going the other way and remembering that -45 is where everything evens out.
Ye-
So if I tell an American that it's -45 out, they know it's fucking cold.
I don't know that I've ever seen a -45, and I hope I don't.
You live in upstate New York, sweetheart, you're gonna see it.
You say I'm going to see it, but what I'm actually going to do is stay in my fucking house and crank the heat.
Chicken.
Huge fucking chicken. I don't disagree with that. I hate the fucking like below freezing cold, especially like the below zero cold. It can eat my ass. All right, I don't have a smooth transition to this.
Who needs
Some
Look,
one after
stuff!
that?
Summer Games Done Quick 2021 is nigh upon us, and they have released their itinerary for this these streams. They will be starting on Sunday, July the 4th, so that's about a month away. There's a lot of really cool stuff on here and a lot of, returning names that I'm glad to see. You've got your Mexican runners in here. Um, God, what's her name? I know she's in here somewhere. The one that tends to play the really awful games and played Mega Man 2, not the good one, but the one for DOS. That's Mega Man 3, not 2.
The name is just escaping me, honestly.
Yeah, like it's funny, like, cause she's my favorite part of every Games Done Quick, and I follow her and all that good stuff. Oh look, and Mitch Flower Power will be playing an 80% warpless co-op of Super Mario Brothers 3. That's cool as shit.
Hmm.
Yeah, so just a whole lot of really neat games. An all dungeons run of Legend of Zelda in 10 minutes.
Lord, there's so many like interesting little like choices going on here. Like I don't know. I'm very curious to see someone speedrun Super Smash Brothers Brawl. Like that's just a concept thing for me. I need to see it. That and we got a speedrun of Untitled Goose Game,
Yeah.
which I think will be fun. We also
Yes.
had the return of Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, but it's not being done by Carsey, by Carcinogen this time. So I'm curious to see that one. Um, and then there was another one that stood out to me when I was going through the list here real quick.
I did
I'll,
find what I
I'll,
was looking for. Rise Star by Kronun, Liz Star, Shime Gabriel, and Harem Scarum.
there you go. God, there was one more that I saw that just stood out to me immediately. Oh yeah, Nintendogs.
Yeah. How do you speedrun Nintendogs?
Don't know, but we're gonna find out. Like that's the thing I like about this. Like obviously there are games that are fun to watch for like people that are just like obscenely good at them play through in the way that they do with these sort of things. But I really enjoy seeing like just the odd choices of games and how people are able to like really wrap their head around how to speed run something like that. You
Oh,
know
okay, this is the fucking dorkiest thing, but I'm so glad it's on here. There's
what?
a Lady Goggles reading our stream. How you doing, lady? Um,
Hooray!
there's a GeoGuessr perfect score run happening. GeoGuessr, if you don't know, is a browser game where you are dumped somewhere, and you have to find precisely where in the world you are.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you can drill all the way down to like the street and where on the street you are. And like the idea of somebody getting a perfect score just even to begin with, much less in 35 minutes, trips my goddamn mind because I'm used to people getting like, I don't know, like I think it's out of 5,000. So I have watched a lot of Sinvicta play it because it's really cool. Also, Sinvicta, great streamer if you've never watched him, but he plays it a lot and it's a very chilled time just to roam through, and sometimes you just find random shit sitting around in the world. So that made me really happy to see.
Hmm. So I am very curious about what the Mexican runner is doing on this one, though. Because
Battletoads.
well, he's playing Battletoads, but
Hmm.
also he- he's speedrunning the Ghost and Goblins Resurrection.
What?
He's speedrunning the shitty remake that came out on Switch this year of Ghosts and Goblins.
Oh, was that remake bad?
Oh, it was bad.
Oh,
It's bad. It's not good. No.
any percent the Tiny Toon Adventures game. Better you than me. It's a cute game, but I don't want to play that hard.
Yeah. I need to, that's appointment viewing for me now. I need to see Mexican Runner do something with this terrible, terrible video game.
Oh, there
I'm
is
sorry.
so much
S-
exciting here.
Seeing somebody wanting to do the what was it? Lego Star Wars Complete Saga.
Oh yes. Mwah.
Now, I will say that like when it comes to GDQ, I don't ever watch it live. I wait till it's over and then go back and watch them because I have no patience for the sit around stuff. That's my bad, but that's, and everyone can consume the way that you choose to consume.
Exactly.
Mhm.
I love when you see the RPGs in the blocks in the middle of like, yeah, the Golden Sun Lost Age, 6 hours. They always have at least one RPG that takes four goddamn ever, but like even marathon speed runs are pretty addictive.
Yo, they're closing out with Kingdom Hearts 2, I think. So
What?
yeah, I think the last game of the weekend or of the week is Kingdom Hearts 2, or it might be Kingdom Hearts 3. Let me double check.
Yeah, Kingdom
Kingdom
Hearts
Hearts 2
2
Final
Two.
Mix.
Mix.
Yeah.
In 10
So
minutes?
oh no.
That's setup time.
Oh,
Yeah. They're looking at a little over 3 hours.
3 hours. That's it, yeah.
That's more feasible.
Then I misread several of the things that I looked at here for how fast they were running the shit. But who cares?
Dark
There, you can
Souls
take a look
3
in the
in an
list
hour
yourself.
5?
Oh yeah, that can easily be done. I've seen
Glitchless?
I mean maybe. I'm curious. I've definitely seen like somebody run Bloodborne in that amount of time. So
Yeah, I mean, it's just exciting. Like, I love every year when Games Done Quick comes along because, I honestly don't have the patience to watch speedrunners normally because they're repeating the same thing over and over. And I know, says the man that watches Northern Line play the Binding of Isaac all the goddamn time, but they're usually just not talking. They're just kind of rerunning the same sections over and over. I have no patience for it. I can't.
yes,
Yes,
Lady
there's
Gaga.
Lady Goggles.
Yeah.
Link in chat if you want it.
Also, just for shits and giggles, someone's gonna do Halo 2. So all right,
Fuck yeah.
cool.
Devil May Cry Special Edition in an hour 10. Fuck.
It's always a fun week with GDQ. Always.
These people are not human.
Nope.
No.
Like,
The
Styx, Shards of Darkness in 51 minutes. The Styx games are a bitch.
Like these people, you gotta basically live your life primarily to do speed running. Most of these people make their money at this point. Like it used to be, yeah, you could just like learn the speed run over a summer and get competitive, maybe set a personal best like 10 years ago. But at this point, speedrunning has to be your job to get these numbers.
All right, I found the one that is going to be probably the most odd and interesting thing, other than possibly Ghosts and Goblins Resurrection.
Yeah.
Someone is
Oh.
speedrunning Factorio.
Oh God, how do you do that?
I don't know, because to my knowledge, that game doesn't have an end. But I need to see. I need to see this. I need to see all of those conveyor belts.
All right.
Yeah, but Coop, Styx is, yeah, this does this when game, but it's also a stealth game. There are a lot of levels where if you get seen, it's game over. So
True.
your timing has to be dead on. And that's my problem with that game is I get either anxious and run on ahead and get caught, or I get impatient and run on ahead and get caught. So needless to say, I lasted less than 20 minutes in Styx.
Oh, by the way, if you have Epic Games, NBA 2K21 is free right now. Figure that's
Yep.
Oh,
worth a mention.
And there's another mystery game next week. And usually when they do their mystery games, it's the big ones. So NBA 2K21 was a mystery game. When they did GTA 5 last year, it was also their mystery game. So we might have two biggins 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, just don't buy any loot boxes from 2K21. Don't give them any of
No,
your fucking money.
no.
no.
Anyway, the other big story, other than the one I refuse to talk about, has obviously been the Epic versus Apple story, and GameIndustry.biz has done the wonderful job of archiving everything that has happened so far. Starting with everyone's introductions, your opening statements, the technical difficulties when you had the children saying free Fortnite over and over again. This list is just impressive to remember what we've seen in only a few weeks.
Oh, Coop. Coop, buddy, you might need some serious help.
What?
I have no idea what he said, but either way. You may remember when the store is labeled as hundreds of millions of dollars short of being profitable.
Which, what? Are we talking about the Epic Game
The
Store?
Epic Game Store.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you were talking about the App Store for a second there, and I was like, I know that they talked about something with the App Store, but I didn't know that was that. What the?
Hundreds of millions of dollars short of being profitable for the Epic Game Store.
I still
I
think
mean,
the fact that Roblox decided to run with the fact that they are not a game by Apple's
Absolutely.
definition, and that they have now pushed that hard into their public facing stuff is brilliant.
Yeah, and that is there's a whole article on that. I might as well just pull that up. Polygon, and thank you Anna Diaz for chronicling this craziness that has spawned off of the Epic versus Apple trial, because they have dropped the word game from anywhere within the game itself. Um, the games tab is now Discover. Experiences has replaced game in a whole lot of word. Yeah, the breakdown games are experiences. Continue playing is now just continue. Friends playing is friends visiting. Games has become discover. Join game is just join, and playing is now active on Roblox.
This is just fucking sinister, honestly. Like it really is. Like them Roblox reclassifying all of their stuff that previously was labeled games to be something else. It only is to benefit uh, Roblox's own dealings with Apple going forward to reclassify how what kind of vetting processes their things go through now. Not to mention the fact that a lot of creators on Roblox make their money through microtransactions on Roblox.
Mm,
And if it's not a game, it doesn't have the same focus from the general public, I think, or from lawmakers rather as well. Whenever it comes to how we've been looking at possibly litigating loot boxes as gambling. So, like in a lot of ways, this is very obscuring for Roblox to say, like, "Oh, we're not a game," whenever they are. They are a game creation platform. They are a gaming platform. And I'm sorry, you can change the name all you want, but to the people in the know, that's how it's going to be. But that's the problem is that the people that aren't in the know with this stuff, they're going to now they have plausible deniability,
mm,
and that is super frustrating whenever any potential um, legislation when looking at in-app purchases, at loot box mechanics, that sort of thing, at these sort of impulse buys, which the judge in this case seems to have a pretty disdainful opinion on. Has called out the impulse buying situations with a lot of these apps from the bench during the case. So like, it's just frustrating to see that Roblox has been given sort of a lampshade through all, and knowing the audience that it mainly caters to, that message is going to trickle down, and it's just really frustrating to see.
yeah, it's
But
frustrating, but we have to remember this is a long series of video games hiding what they are at times. Keep in mind the Nintendo Entertainment System and how they use that to break into America. So,
But that was more so to speak to the general public in terms of consumers coming off of the crash of
mm,
the arcade industry. That wasn't just trying to circumvent legislation potentially,
it
or to
did
certain
allow them
but
to get cheaper sales and imports. Anyway, Meryl.
did. Yeah,
Coop
sorry.
actually raises a really good point in chat. If it's not a game, Apple doesn't charge 30%. So they took that ball that Apple handed them
Mm,
and ran with it. You can bet there's going to be some hardcore renegotiations.
especially given Roblox's recent IPO.
Yeah, and with Roblox coming up to Apple going, well, by your own admission in court, we're not a game. Reduce our fee, reduce your cut. Apple really doesn't have a leg to stand on.
I mean, that's definitely true, and it definitely could affect that. I want to look that up for myself personally, just to make sure to see if like other in-app purchases beyond games still how much of a percentage cut there is for in-app purchases there. But just with taking that like on face value, like yes, that is very much a good way for Roblox to turn this sort of situation and stick it to Apple a little bit. But I don't think Roblox has really been. Obviously, they haven't been very vocal in this case. Really, they haven't really been vocal in this struggle. Really, they've mainly been focusing on themselves and building themselves up into what a company valued at an astronomical number compared to what I think most people would have thought Roblox would be valued at before it went public. So, like in that instance, yeah, like if you want to try and find a way, you try to find a way to stick it to the bigger fish in this pond. That's fine, but we're also still talking about a very, very, very big fish. We're not talking about a little guy
Mm.
with Roblox trying to do this. So, to me, like, yay, Apple might get poked a little bit, but to me, it still is a very detrimental thing, potentially for the future of where any kind of future court cases around this sort of stuff goes.
The whole thing, there's so many weird things that just came up from this that have nothing to do with it. Not even like the Roblox thing feels oddly gross but yet amusing at the same time. But to find out that Apple charges differently, like 30% commission is on games, meanwhile a lot of applications and whatnot on the same store don't hit the same charges because people are actively looking for games, they said.
Yeah,
Which, is a fuck if you're a tiny indie.
yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, just there is so much here. There's been so much reporting on this. Oh, yeah, here we go. That's what I was looking for. Apple doesn't know if the App Store makes a profit.
I call bullshit.
Schiller told the court, "We don't deny that it likely is, but Apple has never broken down its finances to the point where it can fully identify whether the App Store makes more than it costs to run."
I'm sorry. Apple is so in touch with its moving parts that if one of their call center reps in a third party call center sneezes, they know. Like, there is no way. Like, that is just like the biggest line of bullshit possible.
Meanwhile, 62% of all App Store revenue is generated by gaming. They know that down to what percentage it is, but like a cost analysis, cost fuck, I know there's another word I'm missing in there, but what the fuck even? Yeah, hard to fucking believe.
This Tim Cook testimony as well, um, is just a thing to read, honestly. Like, very rarely do you get a chance to get a tech CEO, much less the CEO of Apple, on the stand, and like Epic's lawyers just grilled him to shit.
Oh yeah, Tim did not look great. Like he didn't break kayfabe, but um, boy was he trying to just sound like a marketing machine the whole time.
I mean, that's basically the mission there, right? Although it was very choice of Epic's lawyers to bring up potentially exposing user privacy information through a deal related to China. Um, so,
Yeah. Um,
ah,
and I do love the engineering head Craig. I'm not trying to pronounce your last name. I'm sorry, but explaining the key differences in security between iPhone and Mac, which basically boiled down to, iPhone users are the salt of the earth. Idiots. Because they didn't pay. Lilac, how you doing?
I also love that the judge in this case, like after the cross examination, and basically after Cook gave testimony to both sides, the judge actually had a chance to ask some questions to him and called out um, called out Tim Cook and Apple for how they explained away their decision after the lawsuit was filed to reduce in-app commissions to 15% on the first $1 million in revenue. Remember we talked about that last year?
Yeah.
basically, like, they said that it was driven by a desire, quote, a desire to provide a helping hand during the pandemic, right?
Mm.
Uh, but obviously, that came after Epic filed its case. It definitely was a maneuvering point for them to have something to point to in a lot of ways too. Like so, like she basically just called him out on it. Like, this a quote from the AP article here. Um, at least what I've seen so far, that really wasn't the result of competition, but the pressure you were feeling. End quote. Just directly to his face, and I love it. I love it so much because like that's just yes, that's exactly what it was, and I'm glad that we're seeing a spade for a spade there. You know,
I love so much as well that the AP and Michael Litke over at the AP have devoted what is a fairly lengthy article for the AP at least on this case. Like, I can't wait to see how this whole thing rolls out after everything is said and done. They did do closing arguments, but it's going to be a while before this case is decided.
Yeah, it's gonna be really interesting. I mean, I'd like to say it's too close to call, but I I think Apple might lose this.
I think so myself, but I could really see it honestly going either way.
Yeah.
Fascinating stuff. Hey, while we're still talking about lawsuits, though, um, no one is surprised that Cyberpunk 2077 had so many class action lawsuits brought against it that they had to make an even bigger lawsuit out of all of the class action lawsuits for sake of time and dignity. The U.S. court themselves rolled everything together for the class action lawsuit from multiple lawsuits over December and January uh, for hmm, the delightfully inept release that we saw.
yeah, like, and to be just to remind everyone, like this is not from consumers. These are investors in CD Projekt Red
Mm,
that are suing them for saying that they intentionally misled them um, on the quality of the game prior to its release. So this is not one of those like the Mass Effect 3 ending sort of thing, but in the courts. This is very much people who had financial stakes in this that are very very angry and could result in a sizable settlement. I mean, I don't know if it's going to be anything potentially a settlement, potentially a judgment. Either way, um, I don't know if it's necessarily how much of a drop in the bucket it's going to be for CD Projekt Red, especially considering how much money they made off of Cyberpunk,
mm.
regardless of all of the controversy around it. But I don't know. Like, I'm glad that this is continuing. I'm glad that there's a potential here for a developer and a publisher that, in my opinion, did deliberately mislead people on the state of that game before its release. Um, I'm glad that there might be a chance for some comeuppance, but I I try to like not indulge cynicism,
Mm.
but it's it's growing a little harder each time something like this happens to feel that way. That's the main reason why I point out the investor stuff here because I feel like if it was consumers bringing a case like this, it would lean more into the cynical viewpoint of the outcome of this. But since it's investors in the company, I think that there actually could be something happening here, which would be amazing to see because I think that they're right in their complaint. Honestly,
Yeah, and frankly, to me at least, I think developers need a little bit of a kick in the butt right now to stop releasing games before they are fully baked. Like, if you know that the game that you're about to release has severe issues, don't say, oh, we know our devs are rock stars. They'll have all of this, fixed with a day one patch, surely. You can't do that.
Yeah, no. And I mean, like, you guys are both right. Like, this could be a significant kick in the ass. And I mean, I know the US is very often painted as lawsuit happy.
Yes, it is, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. Um, but at the same time, this should be a good wake up call for CDPR because, like, if you want to judge how badly you fucked up, this is a pretty good indication. Like, when you literally have so many class action lawsuits together that the US court has decided to go, yeah, no, we're just lumping all of these together or we're never going to finish. Like, come on.
Yeah, this wasn't the lawyers agreeing to bring it all together, because I'm sure the lawyers were all expecting to have nice, fancy payoffs at the end of this, but no, this is entirely the state going, we don't want that much more work to do. Let's just put it all together.
Well, like, for them to have actually made the decision to lump them all into one giant lawsuit, you have to figure this is something that they were expecting would have tied up the courts for the next couple of years.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
There's so much still to see out of CD Projekt Red and how they're handling this game. Like, they still, to this day, haven't fixed all of the issues that this game has. It still has a lot of fucking glitches. Not like game crashing glitches like it did when it started, but still enough glitches that if it came out literally today, people would be like, "Oh, this game has some real problems."
I
And
mean, has anybody booted that up recently to see if it actually feels like it's been fixed in any way?
I
Mine's
haven't, but I
still
definitely can.
unpatched. Mine is still very much unpatched and will never be played again.
I mean, I still have it installed. I'm sure the updates have been patched in, but I just haven't booted it in like 5 months. So
Yeah, I would really love to see what they're like. They have been kind of quiet, but what their road goals really look like at this time, right? Because when the game came out, they were talking about all sorts of DLC and shit, and now it's all quiet.
well, if I remember correctly, around like sometime in January, I want to say, is whenever they basically scrapped that entire roadmap and came out with that apology video that we saw that was like weird
Yeah,
from the head of CD Projekt Red. And and then they released another roadmap, which is basically just like, hey, we're gonna make the thing playable. And then they did that had that giant patch that came down. I want to say either beginning of March or end of February. I want to say
yeah.
basically they committed the rest of the year to basically improving the game without even thinking about touching the multiplayer stuff that they've been planning um, for until 2022, if I remember correctly. Now that obviously we know that we can't necessarily always trust the word of CD Projekt Red
Mhm.
because they have definitely misled people multiple times around this one project. So, like, I don't know, we'll see. But I think they're trying to take the rest of the year to really get the game back into the shape that I think everybody are close to what everybody expected it would be at whenever it was released. And they pushed a lot of the um, additional content into next year.
Like, I'm not gonna lie. When if they do put out DLC, I am really happy with the idea of picking up the DLC and play it. Not just because I think it would be funny to talk about on the show, but I really like the game. it was to me a cool game that they fucked over hard. It oh man,
I
I'm
might
not
boot
getting on that tirade again.
I might boot that up again just to see what state it's in. I haven't really had much of a desire to play that. Obviously, we'll see. I'll do some journal.
While we're talking about questionable things, and keep this one with a grain of salt here, but it sounds like another Sonic collection may be coming out relatively soon. A French site listed the game as coming soon. What coming soon means, we don't know. And then very quickly yanked it. But we do know that the 30th anniversary is coming up relatively soon. So it's very likely something big is going to come out of it. But the question I have is, do we have a need yet for another Sonic Mega Pack?
Well, when was the last big one that came out? Because I know that you had Sonic Mania, like the newer game that came out a couple of years ago. Um, and of course, you've had like some newer Sonic games as well, such as Sonic Boom. Uh,
Yeah.
but I can't remember the last time that like they put out a proper like Sonic package with a number of like of the old titles packed in.
Like, I know there was one a few years ago that covered all of the Sega console games as well as the racers.
Yeah, so basically there was the Sonic Classic Collection,
Hmm.
that was brought out for the DS, um, published by Sega, and it was the 8th compilation in the Sonic the Hedgehog series. It was released in 20, and it was an emulation of the Genesis and Mega Drive games
Yeah, and I know
rather
there's
than a
one
direct port.
that included everything up to Adventure, but I can't remember how or where that was released. But
Um,
even if you included a lot of the Sonic 3D games, would you really want
no.
that? That's my question. Like, Kelvin, can you tell me realistically that you would plop down the amount of money that it would require for you to buy a whole new game if they included maybe most of the aughts 3D Sonics and maybe the Game Boy and DS handhelds? Because I can't say it would do it for me, but it makes sense for a 30-year anniversary. And like, the Sonic Racers are actually pretty good. Like, I would say Mario Kart 8 stole a lot of ideas from the last one. Okay, that's fair, and I can definitely see it. Like, despite everything, Sonic the Hedgehog still has a giant fan base. And a lot of them love the 3D games, which
I
blows
mean,
my mind.
I don't know, like there's some good stuff in there, and like I would say if you're gonna do this, it needs to be something where you pack as many of these games into one place as possible.
Hmm.
You know, like you put in all the original Sonic games, put in Spinball, put in fucking Sonic 3D, fucking put in all the Sonic Adventure stuff, all the everything, put everything into one place. Get the fucking like weird parody game where you fucking stare at the Milk Sonic or whatever, and put that in.
Sonic
Yeah,
Dreams.
there
Get
you
the
go.
copyright for that shit. Sony,
Fucking
Sega, fucking dare you.
fucking pay those people. Get Sonic Dreams in there and get it going. I will point this out though. If you search for this online, you might come across a fandom.com page for the Sonic Anniversary Collection. That is not a real thing yet. I think someone made a fake fandom page for it because like nothing's been confirmed by Sega yet. So I'm just gonna throw that out there for anybody looking. Like that looks it basically I think that is a fake right now. Unless somebody Sega just decided to make an additional thing on the fandom on the Sonic fandom wiki. So
Come the fuck on. I'm just trying to figure out when Sonic the Hedgehog, the original game, came out. Like, what? June 23rd.
1991.
June 23rd,
Yeah.
1991.
I was looking for when will the 30th anniversary be, so.
No,
Okay.
June 23rd.
June 23rd. So,
Yeah.
that's only a couple
And
weeks.
so, like in 2011, for the 20th anniversary, we had Sonic Generations come out.
And Sonic Generations honestly was pretty snazzy, I thought. I played it, I enjoyed it.
What if they just released every Sonic game, but instead of Sonic, they put Shadow in it?
Ooh. Oh, and then put Sonic in the Shadow game.
Yeah, give Sonic a gun. Give Sonic a gun
Let
and make
Sonic
those
be
raging
angsty.
out.
I'm checking something.
There's literally a line in Shadow the Hedgehog where it is like sounds like stealing candy from a baby, which I do.
Of course you do, Shadow. You fucking edgelord piece of shit. God damn it.
God, if you've never played Shadow the Hedgehog game, I recommend it, but not because of anything good that came out of it. Just for how amazingly over the top Shadow the Hedgehog is in his gritty hedgehog world. It's amazing.
God, this is the blending of my worlds now because there's a pro wrestler who has started to come out to the main theme from Shadow the Hedgehog because he likes to shit post about Sonic on his Twitter. And I love him for it. I really do. Killian, I know you're not listening, but Killian McMurphy, you are a thumbs up person in my book. The only way it would be better is if he came out to All Hell Shadow. Oddly enough, it's not the main theme to Shadow the Hedgehog. I do not get that. I do not understand that fact at all.
No, just I forget what the main theme is, but it's really disappointing.
Spoiler alert, it sounds like All Hell Shadow because every song in that game sounds like All Hell Shadow.
Well, yeah, it's all that same like grumble. I'm mad at the world. Everything's sad, but
So it's
rock.
all 3 Days Grace.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's all Chevelle, except Chevelle's way better.
While Merowyn's researching and I'm shitting on things, let's just drop into. So, we've talked about Skyward Sword HD is coming out, and whether you feel good about the price point for an HD re release of one of the more divisive Zelda games of all time. This amiibo is a piece of shit because
I concur. Also, my research did not pan out.
well,
No.
I was rabbit holing because I'm like, hey, maybe they're going with like, you know how everybody's like each wedding anniversary has a specific like theme that it's supposed to have?
Oh, yeah.
So I was checking to see what the 30th is. And then I started thinking, well, wait, it's Pokemon's 25th anniversary. They re-released Shining Diamond and Brilliant Pearl. Is Pearl one of them? But that's for the 30th, not the 25th. The
Mm,
25th is silver. So it would have been cool if we had gotten like Heart Gold and Soul Silver as a re-release. But at any rate, yeah, sorry.
no
Brain is
worries.
just
Yeah, this figure is a piece of shit because rather than doing all the fucking around with Loftwing, it allows you to go between the sky and surface whenever the fuck you want to with a little tap of your amiibo.
so why is that bullshit? That sounds like it solves a problem.
It solves a problem. if you have the amiibo.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I see where you're
Oh,
going now.
I
How much
mean,
the shit retailing for?
Like 20, $30? Let's see.
and they're usually in very limited quantities.
Yep. So you gotta find the bitch first.
But it also only takes somebody who is vaguely confident when it comes to NFC tagging and being able to rip the code from the existing amiibo and throw it onto a simple NFC tag.
Hold on, I'm not trusting fucking anything from eBay. Because it hasn't come out yet, right?
I don't know. I would assume it hasn't come out yet. But yeah, no, like yeah, gating that sort of thing behind buying an extra plastic thing, like fuck that shit so hard. That is such a fucking capitalist bullshit
Yeah.
decision. Oh my
Okay,
god.
so
Especially
scalpers have already gone through and bought all of them because they sold a
great.
week ago.
Even more of a reason to fucking hate this thing.
Mm.
My god.
Because we saw on eBay, some of these are going like $80 to $120
Yeah. Yeah.
for a fucking plastic statue.
And I mean, okay, so I went browsing for Nintendo Switch amiibos recently. And this is where my whole NFC thing came from.
Mm.
While diving into Amazon,
Mm-hmm.
I discovered that there are enterprising folk who are selling card bundles
Mm-hmm.
that are NFC enabled cards.
Yeah.
Like they're little chips that work just like the amiibos without the clutter.
Mm-hmm.
So you can have 150 different amiibos ranging across various games that all do cool shit without having to have space for 150 little tiny figurines that you're going to use once and forget you have.
Yeah, like literally all you have to have is a reusable NFT card. So,
I mean, you can buy NFC, like programmable, writable NFC stickers
hmm.
really cheap. And I know this because I used to use an app with my Android called Trigger. And what it did was it allowed you to write to NFC stickers various actions for your phone to take. So I used to have one that sat beside my door to my apartment that when I left the apartment, I'd tap my phone on it. It would turn off my Wi Fi, enable my Bluetooth so my headphones would connect, and turn off my ringer. So that way it wasn't ringing in my ear when I was listening to music. And then when I got home, I could tap the same sticker and undo all of that. So, I mean, it's easy enough to fool around with. It's all programmed in Lua.
Hmm. Oh yeah, there's whole networks for just finding what each of the NFT or each one of these amiibos does in the program under the shell, and you just copy paste that shit. It's real simple.
Yep.
Yeah, so ultimately, scalpers can really just first off eat my whole dick, but secondly, please don't buy this fucking statue because like Nintendo normally like has the amiibos do like little just goofy fun things or help you out a tiny little bit with the amiibos and that's fine, but this is a quality of life upgrade. Ugh.
I'm sorry if you guys hear random explosions in the background. It's one of those firework holidays, and the
Oh,
cities aren't allowed to put on displays, so the residents are going insane.
That's fair. Um while we're going into Nintendo of America being kind of disappointing, 5 new titles have come to the Nintendo Switch Online catalog. For the SNES, Super Baseball Simulator 1.000,
fuck you. Fuck.
Caveman Ninja, also known as Joe and Mac, kind of okay with that one. Like, if that had been just the filler, it's fine. Magical Drop 2, the puzzle game nobody asked for whatsoever.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I would have fun with this because it brings me back to Bust a Move.
Yeah, it's bust a move, but you pick up the things instead of having a line of things you shoot.
Yeah.
Spanky's Quest, which, okay, yes, I know, Spanky's Quest has um, a following. I don't understand why, but it does have a following.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
It's like Cuphead v like 0.01.
And a game that I understand never actually came to America, Ninja Jaja Maru-kun.
Yo, you get to ride a giant frog. That's all I'm. That's all I need to know.
Ride a giant frog.
Ride a
Yeah.
giant frog. Also, real quick, I will not accept any Super Baseball Simulator 1.000 slander on this fucking stream. Game is legit. I know it's not the best baseball game on Super Nintendo, but motherfucker, you get to throw lightning pitches, and I am in that.
So, I do have a commentary on the fact that like with your Nintendo Switch Online membership, you get access to this stuff.
Mm,
Um, I was browsing through the catalog the other day, and I think it was for the SNES. I found a game that I didn't know what it was, but it was very vaguely Dr. Mario-esque.
mm,
You know, stuff falls down, swap things, make three, it disappears, etc.
mm.
Right? Um, and it was interesting and amusing, and I could understand that it had never been released in North America, but you think that maybe when you did this port, you could have included some English menus instead of having everything in the OG Japanese.
That would require them reprogramming things, and boy, they probably don't have the source code around for that uncompiled.
Good point.
So
I was like, okay, this menu item looks friendly, I guess. We'll try this one. What am I doing?
yeah. Yeah, there's a couple of games along those lines, and I'm kind of like I'm real happy, especially that what's the game? Picto something, the where you have the grid and numbers and you have to shade in certain areas
Oh,
anyway.
Oh, the nonograms.
Yeah. Mario Picross, that's the name of the boy, and that game is wonderful. Actually, Graves was the one that got me into. No, it was Landon, wasn't it? That got me into Mario Picross like 20 fucking years ago. But it's still in Japanese. So
Oh,
just like, yeah, I did it.
I did the thing. I don't understand what I did, but I did the thing.
yeah.
all that matters is that you did the thing.
So all I'm saying is, you should probably put out your N64 games now. I think you're
Yeah.
scraping the bottom of your barrel, Nintendo.
Yeah. I
And
want Doom 64 on a fucking Switch.
hell yeah, you can actually do that. You can buy it off the store.
Yeah, but I'm already paying for my online membership.
Um, and I wanted to have a little moment. I know this isn't directly a video game related, but Berserk definitely inspired a lot of people, especially in the fantasy genre. A lot of the RPGs that came out of the 90s had a lot of inspiration that came from Berserk. Kentaro Miura passed from what to me reads like stress related injuries. Acute aortic dissection. The man
Ooh.
was only in his 50s, and yeah. Were you saying something, Brian? I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you're fine. I honestly I don't have a ton of I don't think I've ever read Berserk. I know of its influence, obviously, because I mean, how could you not? But it's just a franchise that I've never really interacted with personally. But still, a fucking bummer. Like 54 is way too young to be going out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know a huge amount about Berserk, but every fantasy creator from the 90s and the especially the early aughts constantly talked about Berserk and what was it, the Golden Arc that everyone seems to love, especially because of Berserk's introduction of giant fucking swords and like being gritty, but not in like I'm a sad boy gritty, where Western media was going a lot.
So basically, not Cloud.
Yeah, yeah. um, there was a lot of introspection from what I've seen. Hollis has made me sit down before and watch a bit of Berserk. So, I mean, it is over the top and very like manly, but yeah,
So it
it's
was like G.I. Joe with swords?
yeah, you can say that.
With some existentialism thrown in there.
Yeah, with some what is life.
Ooh.
Spoiler alert, it's giant sword.
Yeah. Yeah, Coop's right. A little bit of Batman in there. You could see a bit of Batman inside of Berserk. All right. Now that I've saddened everyone, let's take a moment to do our seventh inning stretch, brought to you from Blaze Ball, the most beloved sport that ever existed. Last season was weird as fuck.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Wanna
Um,
why it was weird as fuck? With your stupid voting for some bullshit.
yeah, all the players voted for some weird bullshit, and so the devs gave us some weird bullshit. There was no way to technically win a game all of the last season. Instead, a win was converted to an unwin. Um, so think of putting yourself in the red on a ledger sheet, and that was all of last season. You could only win and lower your number of wins counted.
I just so like I love the chaos of it. I really do.
Yeah.
I don't mean to sound angry whenever I'm talking about it, but it is still infuriating to me that because of this stupid, stupid rule, the Tokyo Lift won a fucking championship before the Miami Dolphins. And I'm so angry. I mean, baseball is for everyone.
Mm.
Everyone plays ball, but still, fuck that.
Um, Hilariously for my team, before the season started, we decided to completely tank our team so that hopefully we could get into party time and get some points for our players that way. And instead, we won the like division. Like we were top ranked in the entire like series, but then the actual like championship games went back to counting wins as wins. So we instantly fell out directly after that. So we got absolutely no positives from what we did to ourselves.
My
Uh,
brain hurts.
Yeah.
the
I'm vaguely confused.
the wings basically became the Joker in collection. We all were the Joker for that whole season, and some of us thrived in it, and some of us absolutely hated everything to do with last season. It really depends upon the way you want to look at it, as weird fun chaos for a week, or the loss of actually winning anything or having wins matter.
I mean, honestly, like baseball is just the experience of interacting with it is really the true win. Honestly, in a lot of ways, like I don't know, I just enjoy how things can just be switched up on a dime like that. Um, and I don't know, it's a testament to the continued development of the game, honestly,
Oh yeah,
and especially when how it does so interacting with its fan base in the way that it does. Kel, yes, Marvel Olympics are legit as well.
hell yeah.
Uh, O Rangers over here.
Oh,
Uh,
Rangers all the goddamn way. Fuck yeah.
although I am starting to think that they might be cops. So, because
Why
they
are
do
they
have a badge
Rangers?
for their logo.
Oh,
They do have a badge.
Spoon.
Anyway,
hey Spoon. Um, that does remind me. The game band has received funding now for Blazeball.
yes, I was actually about to get to that because I think that's the biggest development coming out of this season is the fact that they've received a significant investment from Makers Fund as well as additional investments from One Up Ventures and Matthew Ball. So they are feeling much more secure financially around the development of baseball. They're going to be able to pay the team that makes that game what they're worth now, or closer, like more than what they were being paid before, which is great to hear because like you want to keep cultivating that sort of studio and that atmosphere in the studio and make sure that people are paid fairly for their work. And yeah, like they're taking an extended break. I think it's a 3 week break this time
Yeah,
around.
just 3 weeks rather than many months.
Exactly. It's not like the last siesta that we had. So or big like major siesta, the grand siesta. So but they're taking a little bit of time and they're going to keep developing this thing and now they have money behind it. So like it's amazing to see like in just like a little under a year like the game band was a studio that I don't think anybody really it wasn't like on the minds of a lot of people.
Mm.
And then within a year, Blaseball comes out and they have secured like funny like funny funding that keeps this independent studio stable, and they're able to keep Blaseball independent. It's amazing to see like what this game has really done for them.
Oh yeah. Like I know beyond the release of their like game, um they weren't really sure what the future of the company even looked like, and um not only will this allow them to continue to do Blazeball, but from the sound of it, sounds like they want to continue to expand as well and do other things on top of just Blazeball. So fuck yeah.
Oh, for sure, for sure. I mean, they still had Where Cards Fall
Yeah.
that came out. I think that originally came out before Baseball even launched, but they released it on some additional platforms at post Baseball's launch. So I'm sure that they have other things cooking up there, and I'm sure that they'll continue to support baseball. I don't know. I'm curious. I know that there's. I'm also curious to see what the community keeps making out of this because I know there are reports of people making baseball dating simulators
Mm.
um, independently from the game band, like just fan made stuff, and I want to see those final products. please.
Absolutely agree. Um, yeah, so the next few weeks we won't really be talking about Blaseball at all because it'll be on hiatus. But also we'll be on hiatus next week. I figure I should just throw out now. Next week we'll be on hiatus. I think I said at the top of the show, but just so everyone knows, between it being Memorial Day for myself and Brian, as well as Lady Merowyn getting some work done.
You make that sound so shallow. Uh, no, it's more like Lady Marrow and losing organs and putting herself back together.
Yay!
That sounds like a video game.
Yeah, there will be nothing next week, but we will be playing some more Jackbox tomorrow. So hopefully, if you are enjoyers of Jackbox, come play with us tomorrow.
Yes. Join us.
We'll be starting as we always do at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific, and of course, what I mean by 8 p.m. Eastern is 8:05 p.m. Eastern, 5:05 Pacific. Because we're adults and we don't know time schedules.
Doing shit all the way up to showtime.
Hell yeah.
God, I packed too much shit in a day. Anyway,
Um. All right. So moving forward, the last-ish piece of news, but there's kind of chunks to it. Take Two basically had their financial report, so there's a whole lot of bits and pieces of information that has come out today. Some of it known already. GTA 5 is finally releasing for the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series XS, whatever, on November the 11th because this is the longest running fucking console game ever and it will never die.
here's
It
what I'm
really should.
here's what I'm wondering though. So they're releasing a GTA Online standalone edition,
Yeah.
right? Game.
Mm.
Why would anyone buy GTA 5 at this point if what keeps people coming back to it is GTA Online? Why would they just put GTA Online on these?
Um, okay, so having spent significant time in GTA Online, I can lend a bit of insight.
Okay.
So the modding community on GTA Online is a little out of control.
Okay.
You will be cruising along, minding your own business, haven't seen another person in miles, and all of a sudden you quite literally get nuked from the other side of the map. So the reason why they're doing the actual full GTA 5 experience is because that goes along with online because you still want to play, but you're sick of dealing with people.
Hmm.
So you go play single player for a bit. So you still get those vibes without having to deal with people.
So is the modding community that like pervasive on console as well,
Probably.
or is it crossplay?
Um I think it's crossplay for GTA 5. I think.
It's really
Um
interesting to think about how like PC mods would interact with console players. Hmm.
Yeah, I don't I'm not sure, but like pretty much your single player campaign for GTA is your palate cleanser. Um and sadly Rockstar has had this issue in all of their online play
Yeah.
cuz I know there are cougar attacks in RDR2.
Mm.
I know this. I accept this. But when I log in, take 2 steps out of town and I'm mobbed by 30 of them. I know that's a mod and that's not the game. So, yeah. Single player is palate cleanser insanity.
I can see that, and I guess I haven't had a chance to really catch up on the Take Two news honestly today, so um, this is a new story for me personally. So I didn't realize that they were touting like new features for the base game as well as online. So yeah, in that instance, yeah, re-release the whole game. Honestly, like doing like people are gonna buy it. That's the other. I guess that's the main reason. Really, people will fucking buy it. You'll
If you
fucking buy
build
it.
it, they will come.
I'm not gonna lie. I've never had GTA 5 on a console. It does make me think like I've played a bit of it on Steam, but like I don't know why it feels weird playing a GTA game on a computer to me. So like I may end up buying GTA 5 just to see the experience people have told me about for the last 10 years.
Am I the only one here that has never played GTA 5 ever?
I've only played like a couple of hours, not a whole lot.
Let me
If
rephrase
it's
that. Am I the
if
only person in the fucking world that hasn't played GTA 5?
no, my sister hasn't. She would get
Hooray!
there. And if it's any consolation, GTA 5 is the only one in the series I have ever played.
It's the only one I haven't.
The story for 5 is really cool. It's a lot of fun. Like ridiculous amounts of fun. Online,
I do not recommend online to anybody. I tried an
if
hour of it. I hate it.
if you get yourself into a private session, because you can.
I'm sorry. I just need to interject real quick. My partner from the other room who can hear me talking right now texted me just now to say that even they have played GTA 5.
Oh, Brian. Oh,
So,
Brian. Um,
gauntlet has been thrown down.
so like playing GTA 5 online or GTA online or just G online, whatever you want to call it, um, has its upsides and its down. I found it cool to just be able to drive around really fast and shoot gangs and play in the casino. Never put real money into it. Um, but if you want to do some of the other stuff that it has to offer, like run a business, you have to be in a public session.
Mm,
So, yeah. I mean, you can do the nightclub without being in a public session. And if you've got like the bunker, you can run the missions out of that bunker in a private session. But if you want to do like any of the drug running or gun running businesses or anything like that, it has to be done in public. And it's a pain.
Oh yeah, because everyone has all of the best weapons, and you probably don't.
Everybody has all of the mods, so you're cruising along doing your delivery and gone.
Sweet. That being said, Take Two has had their highest record revenue ever with $3.37 billion in revenue. Just let that number
ugh.
sink in.
That's kind of terrifying.
Yeah, that's just their revenue. Jesus fuck. Everything is up so much because everyone was inside. And hey, Take Two's franchises all have a whole bunch of recurring game items so you can spend money on their marketplaces.
God, that's just such a like intimidating number. And to know where all that money is coming from too, because it's not coming from game sales.
No,
That
No.
money is coming disproportionately from the online services. It's coming from GTA Online, Red Dead Online, NBA 2K. Um, those are really the main three because
yeah.
those are the three that they have the recurrent stuff. I'm sure Borderlands 3 gave them some money.
Mhm.
Shout out Borderlands 3 sales numbers, but um, it's got all that stuff's gonna pale in comparison to what those online services are doing. And like on one hand, like they're doing it right in terms of like the capitalistic mindset of people trying to really make games that are able to sustain themselves in the way like maybe is why we've seen so many games try and model the Destiny um, structure in the way that they have. But at the same time, their games, at least with NBA, because I don't know much about the marketplace for GTA 5, GTA Online or Red Dead Online personally, but for NBA, that shit's so much more predatory
Oh
than
yeah.
what a lot of it's more predatory than Battlefront 2 was, and Battlefront 2 is pretty predatory. So like it's really gross how they're getting that number up in a lot of ways, and I don't know if, like I said, I don't know if you can really compare the NBA microtransaction structure to the GTA or Red Dead microtransaction structure
Not
as well.
from my experience, but a lot of the GTA microtransactions do really come down to neat little cosmetic thing.
Hmm.
Because if you just want the best guns and, the best vehicles, you could get those, but you wouldn't be able to be flashy. But yeah, 2/3 of the company's total net bookings came from recurrent consumer spending.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, only a third of it came from sales, with Red Dead Redemption sold 37 million copies, Civ 6 uh, sold 11 million copies last year, PGA Tour 2K21 reached 2 billion copies, and The Outer Worlds surpassed 3 million copies.
See,
For
here's the thing. Like we have obviously we have the other article that we're going to get to that has some very funny musings on what Take Two could be doing in the next couple years here. But these numbers and the fact that they're re-releasing GTA 5 on PS5 and the Xbox Series X and S consoles, it really brings the question up again: do they need to make GTA 6? Do they ever need to make GTA 6?
I would say yes, purely because uh, okay, so Take Two has spoken a lot about things they have learned from how they released GTA Online when they released it. They weren't really considering ways to keep the consumer, how best to say this, like, safe, I guess is the word, because, hackers really can do so much with GTA Online, but they won't have a reason to make a new GTA Online from the ground up without a GTA 6.
Hmm.
But
Maybe GTA 6 is just GTA Online as a game.
potentially. But it also means they have no reason to really rush that out to market.
Oh, no, no, no. I mean, we're talking about Rockstar. They never had a reason to rush anything out to market. They take their time on everything, yet for some reason still overwork most of their employees. I don't understand that. I don't understand that conundrum.
It is such a awkward double-sided thing. But hey, GTA isn't all they produce, and by 2024, they will have released 62 games. They haven't said what they are, but I do like PC gamers' takes on what they think it might be. So, over the next year, Ken Levine has that mysterious Nemesis game that has no title. That might be along the way. And a safe bet that there will be a new strategy franchise from Fire Axis. They put those out every few years. It does seem about time for that. Of course, your recurring sports game, WWE and NBA.
Got it. Better and better.
Yeah,
Sorry, it's a personal thing.
isn't it just wonderful that they keep putting out more of these and they keep getting worse? Um, Ollie World, which Take Two has already stated. And the rest, they're betting on new iterations of previously released titles, Grand Theft Auto 5, Redemption 5, a whole bunch of shit for the PS5 as well. They're predicting a Grand Theft Auto 3 20th Anniversary Edition, which Take Two has already said that they're doing something big around Grand Theft Auto 3, so good
No shock,
predictions.
Al. I'm curious though about some of the more like out there, definitely tongue in cheek sort of things here with this though. What are some of y'all's favorites of this list? I'm just curious.
Max Payne reboot. He's still sad. Ollie
I'm
Ollie Galaxy is great too.
Ollie Galaxy is pretty good. I'm personally really crossing fingers for the official Marbula One racing game, as well as the free to play curling game that they're saying possibly comes out. And then where was it? Oh yeah, Duke Nukem gets canceled. I don't want to play it. I don't want it to exist. I just wanted to read that phrase out loud because yeah.
I'm kind of giggling over number 12 under immersive core, the hopefully something that surprises us because that sure is a lot of sequels. And a private division game that makes us say, "Oh, neat."
I do like under their kind of a wish list here at the very end, and it's clearly a wish list, is a Bully remake because they just can't make a new one for some reason. Red Dead Redemption remake, boring but cool. I'd agree. And Bioshock Infinite, the 10-year anniversary edition.
Didn't they
Oh,
just put that game out in the Bioshock? They just put out the Bioshock collection on fucking PS4 and shit. Like I guess you need it for PS5 now, so fuck
You
it,
do.
whatever. Throw it out there.
Yeah, make a whole Bioshock collection, put it all together, and be like, oh boy, didn't you love Bioshock?
They
You'll
are
never.
working on a new Bioshock game reportedly, so okay,
um, I'm
we'll do
also
that, I guess.
I'm also gonna call out uh Sid Meier's Pirates of Penzance, just because my inner Broadway nerd squeeze a little bit on that one.
I'm with you.
I almost feel bad for Sid Meier, but he's also, I'm sure, getting money off of the name. But like Sid Meier hasn't worked on a game in fucking ages, but they still just use his name for whatever the fuck they're working on.
Yo, it's the perfect fucking career route though. It's like fucking make Civ and
Mm.
everybody loves it, and then just let someone else make it and just fucking reap the benefit. Like how many copies of like fucking Civ 6 have sold, and then multiply that over the course of 6 games. Like fuck that. Sid Meier can just hang out and do the fuck he wants. Sid Meier rules.
It is a hell of a life to live to just be like, so what do you do for a living? I sold my name to a video game company.
Yo, Donald Trump is jealous. A fucking
I sold my name to a video game company. I don't know what they're doing with it, but they just keep sending me these checks. Like,
Oh, the Frontier Pass. Okay. Yeah. So more content for the Red Debts.
eh,
Eh,
I made the mistake of jumping into Red Dead Online first,
oh no.
and it completely killed all desire to even attempt the single player campaign. So, yeah, that sucked.
Yeah, hey, if you ever want to see the actual Trump video game, check out Brutal Moose. He did a great video on it.
I didn't
It's
know that was a real thing. I don't want to live in this world anymore. I'm going to a different reality where the Donald Trump video game doesn't exist.
I come
well,
with.
while Brian finds ways to reality jump, that was of course the last story for Mr. Video Games, but we can't finish an episode of Mr. Video Games without giving a prize for the thing that is most Mr. Video Games for the week. If you do not know, Mr. Video Games is a prize we give away to the person, place, thing. It is some form of noun that you have to just look at and go, that is Mr. Video Games. That is a video game story right there. Whether it's good, whether it's bad, whether it's heartwarming, whether it makes you cry, it does not matter. It is something that just you look at it and go, dear God. And our winner for the week of Monday, March the 24th, 2021, is the people of Walmart who are getting into fucking fistfights trying to buy goddamn Pokemon cards.
This is just so stupid.
You guys remember when this was a game for kids?
Yep.
Yeah. A friend of mine from elementary school, like, posted to Facebook, like, I am sick of these goddamn adults going in to Walmart and buying out all of the Pokemon cards off the bat. So my children who desperately want Pokemon cards can't even get them.
You know who we can thank for all this?
Yeah?
Fucking Jake Paul.
Yeah, that's right. He's been doing unboxings lately and did the world's largest unbox or something.
Yeah, it's fucking the fucking Paul brothers have created this fucking problem. So much so that like Target's not selling Pokemon cards anymore. They refuse to sell them now because of this exact thing happening in their stores.
Walmart had stopped,
Yeah, I don't know why Walmart decided to start doing it again.
but
Yeah,
the money.
I know a lot of stores are selling, like, you can only buy one box.
Yeah,
So I guess that's something, but I'm sorry. Resellers, and I even know some people who do reselling, and every time they remind me, I remind them that that's a fucking scummy bullshit move to do, to resell goddamn anything. Don't be a piece of shit, even if you need the money.
look at these chuds.
Like, seriously, what the ever loving hell? Also, the dude in the white shirt isn't wearing a mask. Somebody needs to find him and slap him.
Agreed.
Okay, I know it's the pot calling the kettle black. This is very much aiming real low, but what do you want to bet this is the most running most of these boys have gotten in the past 5 years? I know it's a low shot, but
I don't know. Some of them look like gym bros.
you might be
The only,
right.
thing, the only thing that all these men have in common is that they all listen to the Joe Rogan podcast.
Yeah, that might be. Hold on, I want to see if I can capture a frame of something because I have a question. Okay,
Is it about the dude wearing the Hurley cap?
no, I was
How he
wondering
stuck in
about.
2008?
I thought this dude had a fake leg in the back.
Oh,
Yeah, I did too. It's like, dude, you're hobbling in on a cane?
All
I mean,
right.
that's a weapon. That's how
Fair
you get the
point.
Charmanders.
I do see at least one man wearing Crocs, so
God
And I
damn it.
see
These
so
dudes are
many
just tough to
socks with
board.
sandals.
Oh God, I can't. I'm actually closing the Twitch window because I can't look at these fucking assholes anymore.
Make it go away, Trev.
Well, there is your Mr. Video Game for this week. Um, and yeah, single cards, if you find them, are selling for thousands of dollars, and it's fucking gross. Don't be a piece of shit. Let children enjoy their goddamn card games. You gross fuckers. Anyway, this has been Mr. Video Games for March the 24th, 2021. Thank you everyone who came out. Coop, Kelvin, Graves, Alex, Giant Pie, Lady Goggles coming in with the raid. Really fun episode today. I'll just say it one more time. We will not be running next week, but tomorrow we will be playing some Jackbox. I actually really need to text Alex and Kyle and see if either of them want to come back again for the session. But yeah, we'll be doing that tomorrow before we take our break. As well, I mentioned in the announcements on the channel that in July we'll be taking 2 weeks off. Because Brian will be traveling, and both of us will be spending a week to see our friend's wedding. So
Yeah,
Yay,
yeah,
I'm
wedding.
getting on a plane for the first time in forever. It's gonna be weird.
yeah, I am so weirded out that I can like very soon start like going out places with people again and feel normal about it. The fuck is that about?
It doesn't feel right.
Yeah. I'm counting down the days till September 9th when I can get my second shot. I had my
Nice,
first one on Thursday.
dope.
Hell yeah. All right, Wonder Boy, any final words for us this evening?
Fuck those Walmart dudes. Follow me at WonderboyOTM on Twitter. Check out my words at outports.com and tollroad.com. That's TOWLE road.com. And just take well good of each other. Well good. That's a word. Those are word choices. Well good. Be well good, people.
Thank you so much. And Lady Merowyn, any final words for us today?
Well, firstly, to all of the scalpers out there, I doubt y'all are listening, but if you are, it's bad and you should feel bad. Go be ashamed, sit in the corner, no scalping for you. But as always, don't forget to love each other from a socially responsible distance. Wear a mask, wash your hands, be the change you want to see in the world, and honestly, just be cool.
Serious type.
Yeah. Um, I actually was going to say, I might as well say out loud. I don't know if many of you follow Alana Pierce, but she actually is going to Australia to see her sister is extremely pregnant. Those are literally her words. So she is currently in quarantine in Australia because you have to be quarantined in a hotel for 2 weeks. Um, and it is amusing to see how well Australia is handling it. Even regardless of who you are, you have to stay in a hotel. You cannot leave. You cannot have visitors. Um, they will bring you food. And of course, you can always like DoorDash, and they'll bring the DoorDash to you. Um, but no one can come in to clean your room or anything. They have to just slip things by in order to get in. Oh, you have the Indian variant of COVID now. That's really shit. Um, but hey, you guys did a goddamn amazing job of locking things down. Even if it sounds tedious as shit right now to get into Australia, hey, if you're going to travel during a goddamn pandemic, it better be worth it. And to see your first nephew being born does sound like a great reason to do it. But man, Australia and New Zealand doing that shit right. Anyway, um, that was a long distraction. Thank everyone again for coming. Have a good night and a pleasant tomorrow.
Bye.